So picture this, you have over £1 trillion that you need to spend. I mean, where would you even start? Today, we're going to unpack the exact blueprint the UK government uses for challenges just like that. It's called the five case model, and it's an incredibly powerful tool for turning huge, ambitious ideas, like making our cities greener, into an actual reality. So let's dive in. Okay, first up, we really need to get our heads around the sheer scale of the challenge we're talking about. This isn't just big. We're talking about £1 trillion problem, and it's all tied to the UK's massive climate goals. Yup, £1 trillion. That's the absolutely staggering amount of additional investment the UK needs to hit its net zero targets by 2050. And look, this isn't just about government money. This is about pulling together enormous sums of both public and private cash to do things like build renewable energy, retrofit millions of homes. I mean, we're talking about a complete transformation of our entire infrastructure. And that, of course, leads us to the big question, doesn't it? When the stakes are this high, how do you make absolutely certain that every single pound is being spent wisely? How do you pick the right projects, avoid those incredibly costly mistakes, and actually deliver real, tangible value for the public? So how is it done? Well, the UK government has developed a really robust framework. It's specifically designed to tackle these exact kinds of huge, complex decisions. It's called the five case model, and you can pretty much think of it as a system for structured thinking. It's the official, best practice guidance coming straight from the government's own playbook, the Green Book, and its whole purpose, really, is to make sure that every major project is properly thought through and justified before a single shovel ever hits the ground. Okay, so let's get into what this actually is. The power of the model is that it looks at any proposal through five totally distinct but connected lenses. First up, you've got the strategic case. This asks the big why. Is there a really compelling reason we need to do this at all? Second, the economic case. This is all about value for everyone. Is this the absolute best use of our collective resources? Then you have the commercial case. Is the deal itself actually workable? Is it attractive to potential partners? The financial case is pretty straightforward. Can we actually afford it? And finally, the management case. Do we have a credible plan to deliver this successfully, on time, and on budget? You see, together they build a complete 360-degree view of the entire project. So that's the what. Now, let's get into the how. Because this model, it isn't just some checklist you tick off. It's a journey, one that takes a project from a simple idea all the way to a fully funded investment. And this journey unfolds in three main stages. It all kicks off with the Strategic Outline Case, or SOC. That's really just about the big idea, the high-level concept. Next up is the Outline Business Case, the OBC, and this is where you start filling in the details. And then finally, you've got the Full Business Case, or FBC, which is the final, super detailed plan that's ready to get the green light. And this visual here, it just perfectly captures the whole process. You see how those bars grow? As a project moves from that initial spark, the SOC on the left, all the way to the final plan, the FBC on the right, the level of detail and your confidence in each of those five cases just gets stronger and stronger. You are systematically squeezing out the uncertainty and building a rock-solid case for investment. So let's break that down just a bit more. The SOC is really just about confirming that the big idea makes sense and aligns with your overall goals. Then, the OBC builds on that, adding way more detail to help you decide if it's actually worth pursuing. And the FBC, well, that's the whole shebang. It gives you all the final numbers, the contracts, the delivery plans, everything you need to secure the funding and get going. Okay, so how does a framework like this actually work in the real world? Let's go back to our example of making a city green. How does a model like this handle something as incredibly complex as a net zero project? Well, for these kinds of really specialized projects, there's actually another layer to this. It's called the Net Zero Finance Options Framework. Now, this is absolutely crucial. This does not replace the five case model. Think of it more like a preparatory tool, a warm-up, that helps local authorities get all their ducks in a row before they even start the formal Green Book process. It makes sure they're ready for the rigor. And this prep work involves five key steps. It starts with defining the local authority's role. For a citywide electric vehicle charging network, are we going to own it or just enable it? Then it establishes what a successful deal even looks like. It assesses if you're ready, prepares different options, and only then do you begin the official process. It's all about doing your homework up front. Okay, I get it. This sounds like a lot of structured thinking. So why go through all this hassle? What's the actual payoff? Well, as it turns out, it's pretty significant. The benefits are really clear and they're proven. For sure, it leads to better spending decisions and way more public trust. But check out this statistic, because it's a killer. This structured approach can save between 30 and 40% in the time and cost it takes to develop these cases. I mean, think about a project that gets stuck because the funding wasn't properly sorted out. This model helps prevent that by catching the problems on paper, not out in the real world. It's not just a little better, it's way more efficient. Now, if there's one thing you really need to get your head around, it's the difference between two of the cases that often get mixed up, the economic and the financial. The economic case is all about social value. Is this the best use of resources for society as a whole? The financial case, on the other hand, is about affordability. Do we have the cash in the bank to actually pay for it? A project can be a fantastic deal for society, but be totally unaffordable, or the other way around. They're both critical, but they are not the same thing. And this quote right here, it just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. At its heart, every single step, every case is designed to do one thing and one thing only: help people make well-informed decisions. It's all about replacing guesswork with a clear, defensible, and transparent process. And that really leaves us with a final thought. The five-case model isn't just about bureaucracy or ticking boxes. It's a powerful blueprint for tackling the biggest challenges we face, from climate change to public health. The real question is, now that you know how the blueprint works, what massive challenge could you solve with it?